Today we are looking at the Moin Sports LED light by Mirfak. This unit was sent to me to review, and this video will hopefully show where its strengths and weaknesses are. This unit is retained in the packaging by the 1/4 inch standard camera mount screw. It comes with a metallic sticker base, so you can mount the torch on non-metallic surfaces. This light also came with a diffuser kit, $9.99 on their website. It also came with a USB charging cable and various colour gels. There's a very basic instruction manual, but this video will show you how to work it in a few minutes. This charger has a special end on it that snaps magnetically to the light. Keep in mind, if you lose it or forget it, you won't be able to charge the light. Plug the cable into a USB charger. While the light is awake, press the button down until the light comes on. The diffusers clip over the light. This one would be good on a hot shoot, taking wedding reception videos. The gels also use the same mount. Make sure you orientate it so the gel doesn't fall out. The holder retains the gels pretty good. I highly recommend that you download the app. This will give you the best understanding of what the button presses do. Search for Mirfak Light in your app store or go to the website. Install the software and make sure the light is awake. The blue light on the button indicates that the light is awake. You can control multiple lights from this app. The device will be listed as shown. Tap on the device name to see the status of the light. You can see the battery charge percentage from this screen. Press the gear icon in the top left hand corner to bring up the settings menu. Here you can increase the sleep timeout, and I'd probably recommend you do that straight away. To wake the light, press the button once, and you'll notice the blue light go through a series of patterns. When it glows solid blue, it's awake and ready for action. A single click of the button will increase through the power settings of the white LEDs until returning to the lowest setting. Double clicking of the button will increase through the power settings of the warm LEDs. This way you can control the brightness and the colour mix without having to use the app. Even having the app open while you use the buttons definitely helps you understand how this device works. You can also control the light by the app, turning on either the cold or the warm LEDs and adjusting their brightnesses. I've noticed that if you have both the cold and the warm lights on high, it will automatically drop down after 3 minutes. I presume this is so the unit won't overheat. You can turn the light back onto high after it drops if you do need the bright light. I've done some tests here. When you have the warm and the cold LEDs at 60%, after 10 minutes the light will drop down. With the cold and the warm LEDs both at 70% power, the light will run for 7 minutes before dropping down. And with both the cold and the warm LEDs set at 80%, the light will run for 5 minutes. With the cold and the warm LEDs set at 90%, the light will run for 4 minutes before dropping back. Having a look at the battery life, when it's set to a minimal 2%, you get a whopping 400 minutes of runtime, which equates to 6 hours and 41 minutes. With the light set to 10% and 10%, it's 312 minutes. 20% and 20% is 256 minutes. At 30% and 30%, it's 224 minutes. At 40% and 40%, it's 193 minutes. And with the cold light set to 50% and the warm light set to 50%, you get 158 minutes of runtime, which is 2 hours and 38 minutes. I find with the both set of LEDs set at 10% and 10%, you get enough brightness and you get that extended runtime. Now for the application where I think this light really shines the best, pardon the pun, is on a hot shoe mount on your video camera, where you're filming maybe indoors, it's dim, there's not much ambient light, and your camera just needs that little bit of extra light to help shine on your audience. This could be like at a wedding reception, it could be outside, it's just a handy portable light. The other good use for this light would be for people who do a lot of vlogging just using their mobile phones. This keeps the equipment affordable and compact. Most new smartphones today have a pretty good camera built in, but they'll all suffer from low light conditions, where your footage goes a bit grainy and contains lots of noise in the shadows. So this would be good for a do-it-yourself YouTube channel. The magnet comes in handy, so you don't have to hold it, and you can place it in position where it lights what you're filming, but you don't necessarily have to see the light. This will boost the quality of your YouTube footage. Add that with a good lapel mic and it really increases the quality of your videos. One thing I've noticed that confused a lot of people reviewing this light before is just how waterproof this light is. The Mirfak website states that it's waterproof to 10 meters or 32 feet. Oh, here's the link to the app. If we have a look at the full details, they add that it's IP68. This is what brings the confusion. People relate the IP68 to some mobile phones, where they know if they drop it in a puddle for anything more than a few minutes, it's history. Wikipedia describes the IP rating as the first digit being the solid particle protection, 6 which is dust type, and the second digit referring to the liquid ingress protection, 8 being immersion 1 meter or more deep. So if you read the detail, the depth will be specified by the manufacturer. In this case, Mirfak specified 10 meters. I hope this clarifies the rating. But now to test it. I filled an electrical conduit full of water that stood 2.8 meters tall. I placed my GoPro under it so I could see the light on during the test. I started off with a real basic test, 1 meter deep for 15 minutes, the basic IP68 that a lot of phones are rated to. That worked fine, so then I took it to the full depth of 2.8 meters for 60 minutes. And the light continued to work. Now let's see how deep I can take it. On this cold, foggy morning, I plan to go deep, and I'll take the light along for the ride. I've turned the light on at the surface, and I'll be checking it as I descend. It's still going at 4.2 meters or 13 foot. Coming up to 6 meters, 19 foot. Now 7.4 meters, 24 foot. 8 meters, or 26 foot. 9.1, nearly 30 foot. We've gone past its rated depth. Now at 12 meters, or 39 foot. I have to slow down my descent rate, so I need the use of my other hand to operate the BCD. The light is still on, and you can see the backscatter on the left. It's just turned off. I was at 15.9 meters, or 52 foot, and I've slowed my descent. I've actually come up a little. I estimate it shut off around 15 meters or 49 foot. So that's well beyond its rated depth. So I've placed the light in my BCD pocket and kept descending down to the wreck. The max depth for this dive was 32 meters, for 27 minutes. This is not what the light was designed for, but it's a hell of a test. At this stage, I have no idea if it will work when we get to the surface. Now let's see if the light still works. There's a blue light on, that's a good sign. Wow, look at that, it still works. I'd say the 10 metre rating is genuine. As you see, I took it down to 32 metres and water still did not penetrate this unit. I have seen some waterproof equipment fail to operate when you take it deeper than what they were designed for. What can happen is as you descend, the pressure around you gets greater and it effectively ends up depressing the button for you. So you get to the state where the button is fully depressed, whether your hands are on it or not. And that's what happened in this case. When we got back up to the surface, there was no pressure on the button, so I could turn it back on and back off. If you place the light in any liquid other than fresh water, you should take care to clean it afterwards. In this case, since it was in salt water, I cleaned it thoroughly, but I had to polish the steel charging point because it picked up a little bit of oxidization, I think. Now to wrap up this review, let's just have a look at the good points and the bad points. The good points are, it's a bright light and it lasts a long time. It's got a wide 165-degree beam angle, which will give you a lot of coverage, even when you're close up. The light is compact, definitely waterproof, and it's got a standard 1/4-inch screw that you can use with adapters. On the bad side, you've got to remember it does have a unique USB charging cable. Turning the unit on does seem to take more time than you'd think. I think increasing the sleep time will help minimize this problem. The only other negative I can think of is that it doesn't ship with a hot shoe mount, but these are relatively cheap to pick up on eBay. Overall, I think it's a pretty robust light. It's small, portable, and lasts for a suitable amount of time. The price seems reasonable for what you get. I hope you've enjoyed this detailed review.